Hello, folks. Before we get into this episode of the Streamless Podcast, just wanted to let you know of one change since the recording of the episode. Between the time of recording and the time of release of this episode, the Blue Fat Ninja, who was to be our Season 2 editor, had to step down after editing only a couple of episodes due to personal reasons. There's no bad blood or ill will. We wish him the best in the future, and I hope you folks enjoy the episode.
I just turned up the gain. Okay, yeah, that's picking up a lot better.
You want to hit somewhere between 80 and 200 decibels.
No, you really don't.
That's broken eardrums.
Ear germs?
Eardrums.
Eardrams. Eardreams.
My dreams!
My dreams! My broken hopes and dreams!
I feel that.
We all have those, right?
Aw, yeah.
Welcome to the Streamless Podcast. Today with me, I have Lazy Warriors.
Much like a balanced breakfast, I'm bland and boring.
Joshua XD.
I am so sorry, but I just cannot have a baby in this weather.
Ooh. And I'm Cordelia Chase, and I just smudged my fucking glasses. Yeah. But anyway, folks, as you may have noticed, Renvi is not with us this week. She is chasing down TikTok thirst traps this week, so she's a little preoccupied.
Jealous.
So instead, we've brought in our first special guest.
Glest.
Yes, Glest. Words are hard, we know this. We have the Blue Fat Ninja, who is our Season 2 editor. So, hello, Blue.
Hello. And this weekend, I fought death and survived.
This is true.
All right.
Yes.
Cheers on that one.
Yeah, cheers.
Oh my
And
God.
Cheers.
I was going to say Simon's drinking early, but then again, it's after, geez, it's after
5
6.
p.m. for him.
It's after 6 now.
Gotcha.
Like they say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, it's 5
Always.
o'clock in Britain right now, so close enough.
Did you just use that as a chaser?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Was that Fanta?
Yeah, I
Sounds
think so.
exotic.
So Blue, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. For those of you who do not know me, I go by the Blue Fat Ninja on pretty much all platforms. I'm a variety streamer, good friends with Cordy. I've known her for way too long.
Don't want to think about it. Don't want to think
I
about
am
it.
also a pastry chef by trade and baker, so I make Renvi mad whenever I tell her about things that I make.
Yeah, because Renvi's our resident cook, Blue is our resident pastry chef, and I am a potato.
Yes.
I just eat.
I like to eat dicks. Does that count?
I mean, you get some protein.
Does it give you protein?
I think there... Okay, so I think there was actually one time I looked up the nutritional value of what
Of cum.
what that is.
I'll
and
say
there's
it,
a
cum.
there's a little bit of what you need
Baby
in there.
juice.
So...
Jesus Christ. I need to expect this, but
I think though, like it you have to have like a lot of it for it to matter.
It's like a concentrated cream filling.
Like way more than you'd
Spoonful of
ever want to
sugar makes
have
the
in your
medicine
mouth.
go down.
Just a spoonful of sperm will make the medicine.
Oh my God.
I can't with you guys. I love you guys, but I just can't.
You knew this was going to be worse with bringing me on, right?
Oh, I knew. I was well aware. It's fine. It's so fine. But it's
Now
at the
just
same
the
time,
boys and
it's-
Cordy.
you know,
Fair.
nothing wrong with
Oh,
that.
man.
And more than 50% of us are not straight out of the boys at this point.
True.
Simon,
True.
you are no longer part of the 50-50 in the male genome at the moment.
No,
Well, I mean,
I'm a minority.
he wasn't when Renvi's here either.
No, but for
Male
those
genome.
who identify
Oh.
as male within our podcast,
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
yeah.
I am now a
Gotcha.
minority.
But here's the real question, okay? Blue,
Uh-huh.
what configuration are your feet in at the current moment?
straight underneath my chair.
So he is...
Oh, yeah!
They're underneath my desk. One is under the left foot of my desk, and one is directly underneath my desk. It's just because of the chair I'm sitting in, though, so...
You're like, I'd rather be curled up like a gremlin.
I can't do that with my desk and where my mic is positioned and everything, so...
Oh, it's fine. We know at heart you're just a gremlin like Josh and myself.
Yeah.
And Renvi, who's here with us in spirit today.
In spirit.
Yeah.
As she's doing her thirst hunt.
We need to have her record herself screaming so we can insert it right there when we
I can pull something from previous episodes.
Have it come in like the screaming cowboy.
Yeah.
Which is her freaking sound effect on my channel. Which I always zoom in for.
Always.
Because
It's
if I
great.
don't, she will be disappointed. We're going full gremlin this episode, okay?
That's fine.
Apparently, yeah.
It's full, which, speaking of gremlins and goblins and such, what's something you guys collect? Just randomly that, it can have value, it can't have value, doesn't have value, has sentimental value? What you got?
I mean, I think it's kind of by mistake, but I guess I collect Starbucks what are they? Straw wrappers.
What?
Okay, then.
Like crumpled
new.
up, or do you just like rip the top, pull it out, and then just keep the
Throw
flat
it somewhere in the
wrapper?
car. No, like I'll be in the car, so I'll have my drink, my cinnamon roll frappuccino, and they'll hand me the straw. I'll open it. I'll put the straw on. I'll toss the straw wrapper back in the back, and then when it comes time to clean out my car, I'm like, what the fuck?
That's when you realize how many times you've been to Starbucks.
Okay, just for a point of reference, I could feel Cordy just feeling the carbs rush through her as you named that drink.
This is true.
And I
very
want to
true.
try it.
It's so good. It's good.
They don't have Starbucks in Denmark, do they?
They
Or do they?
do, but it's really dumb.
How so?
The US Starbucks is pretty dumb too, so...
I mean, here's the thing. You go to Starbucks, and as far as I know about Starbucks, it's a coffee place, right?
yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. So I go in there, I'm like, oh, frappuccino. Like, sounds good. Like cold and coffee and yummy. And then I go and I'm like, I would like to have a frappuccino with white chocolate. Yes, do you want coffee in it?
The fuck?
I'm sorry, what?
Like, do you want it that's a coffee base or a cream base?
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah.
And I'm
That
like,
is a-
why?
Their frappuccinos are always like, it's not like coffee unless you get it that way.
But it's supposed to be.
I don't
No, not
disagree.
necessarily. Yeah.
Isn't
Gotcha.
that like a part of frap?
I mean, frappuccinos are supposed to have coffee in them.
Yeah.
As far as I am aware, get at us in the comments.
The thing that I get all the time, they ask because it's not usually made with coffee in it. And I get it made with coffee because I need it with coffee. But at the
Just
same
get
time,
that triple shot of espresso on the side.
yeah. But they don't put enough in there for it to even matter.
Because it's all
Like help.
sugar.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm cool with it being all sugar, but although I haven't been to Starbucks since like mid-November, so you actually should be very proud of me.
Yay.
Good on you.
Save that money.
Yeah.
Exactly. I am proud of you.
Well, the funny part is that my housemate for Christmas got me like 10 $5 gift cards for Starbucks.
Wow.
I haven't used a single one.
I mean, save it for a rainy day when you really need the pick-me-up.
Yeah,
Or if you need to go like pick up for like a group of people or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
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 Shout out my collection.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of inadvertent collections and a couple of just straightforward collections.
Go for
I have
it.
somehow accumulated a bunch of various dragon related things. Like I have a art print from an artist that I went to a convention for that is a dragon, and then I've got a 3-headed dragon incense burner.
Oh, that sounds dope. That sounds
That
fucking
sounds cool.
awesome.
It like when I burn the incense at the bottom of it, the smoke pours out of its mouth and nostrils.
Yes.
And then I've inadvertently collected a bunch of crystal related things, even though I'm not spiritual in the slightest. It's just sort of
Oh, you're more
come to me.
crystalline than that.
That's a goblin tendency, collecting shiny things. Seriously.
Now, the
'cause
intentional side is dice, because I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons.
you do. That you do.
And then Magic the Gathering trading cards, because I have an addiction to spending money.
I was gonna say there have been multiple times within our friendship where you have sold your entire Magic collection only to rebuy pretty much all the cards or variations on the cards within 6 months.
I'm on number 4 in my lifetime, and I started playing in 2015.
Okay,
Ow.
so
My-
once every year and a half or so.
Yeah, my collection is currently pricing out at about $3,000 USD.
I want to
So-
whistle, but I can't whistle today, apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
That's a lot of money. That's more than my PC
I
cost.
mean, I didn't spend that much on it. Mind
But-
you, like, the prices have gone up. Like, one card I bought for, like, 60 and it's now 280.
Jesus
So-
fucking Christ.
The entire Magic, like, stocks, it's basically like the stock market right now, where there was a card that I recently sold for 300 is now up to 7. And that was, like, a couple months ago.
Oh no. That's
So,
a bit of
man.
lost money.
Right. But I only spent 80 on it, mind you.
Right. Well, yeah, but still.
So there's the
Like-
net profit.
Yeah.
I don't think I've bought dice since I was like 10. I
I
still
keep
have
buying
the same
dice every single time that I start a new campaign, which reminds me, Renvi has her extra life thing that I'll be a part of, and I gotta buy new dice for that now.
If we're being at all honest, I have absolutely no clue where my dice are at the current moment, but that comes with the whole trying to move house thing.
Fair.
That is possibly over by the time this goes out.
Hopefully. Considering
Fingers-
this is supposed to be in, like, April.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Ugh. But Simon, what about you? Anything you like to collect or...
I've wanted to collect like collectibles for stuff that I like, including the Alien franchise or the famous Alan Wake. Made
Alan
the game go
Wake.
down in history.
Alan Wake. Alan Wake.
Alan Wake. But the only thing I seem to collect, which is never on purpose, is plastic bottles.
Do
You only had
tell.
one in your room today.
How many I have in my room?
Well, you said you only found one, so...
Oh, there's another, so I've got 2.
Okay.
And the
It's
one
better
I'm
than
currently
before.
drinking from. But I had about... I want to, like, a rough number. I had about 38.
Jesus Christ.
And they had all been used to bonk.
You know, that sounds kind of dirty, right?
I know. I'm well aware.
So another thing I just thought of that I also collect is Flash comics. I've slowly been collecting every single one, and unfortunately the first edition of the first issue ever made is way out of my price range right now.
Like
I can
the
imagine.
Flash comics.
It's currently going for a PSA 9.5 is $180,000.
Okay, look, I enjoy my comics as much as the next person, but I collect trades, so that just went way the fuck over my head. So,
PSA means it was graded like almost perfect.
so like basically mint.
Mint condition.
Okay.
Mm.
I can get a PSA 2, which basically means it's falling apart for like $5,000.
Jesus.
But still.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, if we're talking about my goblin tendencies and my collections, holy shit. We'll start from when I was a kid. So when we moved into the house that I spent most of my childhood and teenage years in, my dad was converting the family room that was downstairs into a bedroom and a game room. So there were a lot of trips to Home Depot, right? Anytime I saw a loose screw or like one of those like rubbery plastic caps that go over the ends of things in order to like protect people from spearing themselves on them.
Oh.
Like stuff, like any loose piece of hardware, I would fucking pick up and put in my pocket. And then hide it in my room.
And I thought I had goblin tendencies.
I had this piece of art in my room that was a framed fabric thing, and I would just get home and pop them behind there. And eventually the Home Depot trip stopped, and I completely forgot that shit was there until I moved. And I moved the piece of art, and I'm like, holy shit. There was like hundreds of little things back there. So it was almost like an inadvertently collect, but I definitely picked them up on purpose. But I wasn't like, I'm going to collect this. I was like, I need to save it. I need to save the hardware.
Actually,
What?
I remember one thing that I did collect very much on purpose.
Yeah.
I used to collect bottle caps.
Okay.
I had these 4 2-gallon glass jars that were just filled to the brim.
You're getting ready for the Fallout series.
Dude, I was rich in Fallout money.
Were these like glass bottle caps or were these plastic bottle caps?
No, these like metal bottle caps.
Okay, just making sure. No, when I said glass, I meant the bottle cap.
Oh, for the bottle?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, for glass bottles.
Whatever. If it had a metal cap, I wanted it.
Okay.
But only if it wasn't bent, because then it was worthless!
So,
And gloss images.
Jesse collects those.
He's preparing for Fallout. That's all I get out of any of that. They're preparing for Fallout.
Every time I open a beer for a Friday stream, I open it as carefully as possible so that I can put it in his pile of bottle caps.
I mean, that's honestly just like everyone that saves like the corks from their wine bottles and stuff like that. Like my dad and my stepmom, they have approximately 4,000 corks
Jesus.
from wine bottles they've opened over the past probably at least 6 or 7 years.
That's still a shit ton of fucking wine bottles for
Say,
the past...
They have parties, and whenever they drink, they never drink only one bottle of wine between the two of them.
Wow.
I was going to say they started their collection in May.
Well, during quarantine, that wouldn't surprise me.
It's true. I did used to collect gloss images, if that means anything to you guys.
What was that?
Like
The little cutesy pictures that you could stick onto a collector's folder.
I think I know what you're talking about, roughly.
I don't. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I do not understand. Yeah. While you're looking that up, I am otherwise, collection-wise, I used to collect snow globes as a kid. Although as I aged... Oh, what?
I had a very large collection of snow globes when my mom traveled for work. Like, she got one from every single state for me. So, I don't know where those actually went at this point.
Yeah. Well, the big thing is, for the most part, snow globes don't really last.
Right.
I mean, there are certain ones that if they're made with the right actual, like, because they're not water globes, they actually have, like, more of a gel base on the inside. Those will last a little longer. Otherwise, they end up getting the air bubbles and eventually just completely, you know.
I had a couple that were actually sand. Mm-hmm. So.
I put a picture of it in our little group chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's roughly what I was expecting.
I mean, I've seen those, but I didn't know that those were a thing people collected at all. Although I shouldn't be surprised. For those of you who are confused, they're like older style, like probably 50s or 60s looking artwork.
And they're almost like stickers, right? Like they're the peel in place.
Well, it wasn't exactly stickers, but they were like slightly more sticky on the back side of it.
Almost like a window decal, kind of, that you could remove and replace.
Ish, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's things like the little Dutch girl with her clogs and the tulips, or what else do I see?
Mary's Little Lamb, there's cherubs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I used to collect the fuck out of those.
Hey, I mean, everyone's got their weird little thing, right?
This is a collection. This is a collection I wish I still had, but I used to collect Pokemon cards pretty hardcore. I had...
It grew into your Magic collection. That's where your Magic collection actually started. You started by playing Pokemon cards.
Right. Unfortunately, I had, at one point, 3 copies of the Shadowless Foil Charizard, and they all went through the washing machine.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I was a kid. Like, I was like 5 or 6, and I forgot them in my pocket.
I'm gonna have to call a sad face on that. That's not okay.
Yeah, I've had and then like my cousins at one point, they played Magic before I did, and they're kind of how I got into it. They had, I think, 5 copies of what is currently the most expensive Magic card to date, which goes for just recently. The graded 10 mint copy went for $680,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a lot. That is a whole hell of a lot.
I know for a fact that 3 of their copies got ripped in half, and the other 2 got sold for like $100 a piece.
Oh.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I say I collect comic books, trades. I don't know so much if it's a collection. It's just I like buying them. I like reading them. It is
you've got your Funkos behind you.
But I don't collect those on purpose. 90% of my collection was just bought for me by my husband, and he's like, "Here, have this."
So it's a forced collection.
For the ones I have at work, most of the ones at work I bought myself, and those are all out of box because I don't care about collecting and making money off of those. The ones I have at work are ones I bought because I like them. I like them, and I wanted to display them.
God. So you know about the plastic disc that's at the bottom of each of the boxes now, right?
No, I don't, because I don't collect.
Well, apparently, and this kind of leads into something else we were going to talk about. Apparently, at the bottom of every single Funko Pop box, there is actually a plastic disc that is meant to actually stand up the Funkos.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, some of my older Funkos had the plastic disc.
Well, apparently, like, all of them are supposed to.
Oh. Yeah. I haven't been actually in the office since November. I'm going back in like 3 weeks, but pretty much anything my husband buys for me, he already puts in a pop protector, and he's like, "Here, have this." And I'm like, well, you put a pop protector on it, I'm not gonna fucking take it out, because that's... I mean, to be fair, the only ones that I wanted to actually collect were my Cowboy Bebop ones.
Okay.
Which I have the full set.
I still have yet to watch that.
I am disappointed.
Listen, the art style just doesn't appeal to me. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's not that great.
Oh, you know what?
Shots fired.
Shots fired? That is a cast iron skillet to the face.
I am so cancelled right now.
Hey. I wouldn't go that far. I just threaten physical violence towards you. It's fine.
If it's just physical, that's fine.
Anyway, I've got 2 other full collections of Funkos. I've got all of the Rocky Horror ones, and then at work, I've got all of the Portal 2 ones. So, but the Portal 2 ones, there's only 4.
Atlas and Peabody.
Atlas, Peabody, a Turret, and Chell. Or Shell, however you say it. I want to say Chell, but...
I think that's canon.
I didn't know.
I think so too.
I've heard people say Shell, and I'm like, okay.
That's because she's a bombshell. Oh!
Ooh.
Oh no.
So you were mentioning the whole disc thing at the end, at the bottom of the Funkos, right?
Yeah.
So that, I guess, is kind of a today I learned thing.
Mm-hmm. Something I learned from TikTok.
Well, I mean, that could be a whole frickin' thing on its own. What did I learn from TikTok? A lot of things, apparently. It is my main source of learning new information at this point.
Same. It's how I get my information about what's going on in the U.S. for politics at this point.
I am not on political TikTok at all.
Gotcha.
I have excised that from my timeline, my For You page, everything. It's like, as soon as I see something, I'm, nope.
Yeah, I get like one video ever so often, just like what new laws are being passed or attempted to be passed at this point, and that's about it.
My TikTok is mainly coffee related or Thomas Sanders, so I'm good.
And Josh's TikToks is thirst traps.
Not only thirst trap.
Not only.
Mine's
what
a
else?
lot of spiritual stuff too.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
tarot readings or what was crystal stuff? Like what you got?
Yeah, like crystal stuff, tarot readings, because like I identified with a lot of that back in June.
Right.
So I watched a lot of that stuff, and
Okay.
it sort of helped me through a lot of things. And there's also a couple ones that like, oh yeah, I did learn something from TikTok like super recently, and it has nothing to do with spiritual stuff or
Bring it on.
any of that. But I watched, it was a TikTok of someone like, I don't know, like cooking something on a pan, right?
Okay.
And they pick up the spatula, they put it underneath like the grilled cheese sandwich, and instead of just flipping the sandwich over or the pancake over or whatever, they pick up the thing, pick up the pan, put the pan on top, and then put it all back down on
I've seen that one a couple times.
And I was like, what the fuck? Why have I never thought of that before?
Mind blown.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah. Now Simon's like, wait.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those. I knew where it was going because I've seen it.
Hold on, I've got stuff I need to try out.
He's leaving now for those of you who can't see him. Something for you to test with your dinner tonight, maybe.
Oh, he already ate dinner. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I had so many chicken nuggets.
Yes. Chicken nuggies. What kind of sauce?
Mustard.
Okay. That's acceptable.
Sweet and French mustard. Goes well
tasty.
with the nuggies.
Well, kind of with the food and TikTok stuff, though. I recently came across, there's 2 TikTok profiles. I forget the names, unfortunately, right now. But they are kind of having a food war.
Okay.
So what they're doing, and I think Josh knows what's going on here from the sound of it, is I don't know how it started, and I don't even know how to track back that way necessarily, but one of them challenged the other to cook or bake something with 3
I know
random
exactly what you're
ingredients.
talking
And at the end of that
yeah.
video, once they actually complete whatever they're cooking or baking, they fucking say, all right, it's your turn. I want you to use this, this, and this. And they can also set another condition. Like, you can't use this spice, or you can't, or you have to
Yeah.
bake something instead
The
of
most recent one that I
skilling it.
saw, it was jelly, bacon, and I think bourbon.
Yeah,
or
I
something
saw-
like that.
I don't think it was bourbon, but yeah, I know which one you're talking
It
about.
was jelly, bacon, and something else. I don't
Yeah.
remember what the third piece was off the top of my head.
That sounds potentially delicious. Bacon, jelly, and alcohol, come on.
Everything sounds potentially delicious until it's not.
Yeah. Well, but TikTok has been a thing for learning.
Yeah.
Just there's a bunch of
Man,
learning
now
accounts.
that combination is just making me want to make a jelly-filled donut with a bourbon maple glaze with bacon on top.
I need you to shut up before I gain weight from listening.
I'm sorry, I'm literally a pastry chef. Like, that is my job.
So you're out.
You're not allowed back.
Oh, that's
Yeet.
fine. I figured I would find some way to get myself kicked off. Didn't
Took
think
you
it'd
long
be
enough.
food, though.
Took longer than anticipated. Now, I learned recently myself that all of us are drinking from a can of Guinness. We drink it wrong.
Oh.
And that's why it's shit. It's in a can.
I will admit that Guinness on draft is definitely superior than Guinness in a can.
And that's because you're not supposed to actually drink it from the can. You're supposed to open it, put it in a pint glass, bottoms up, and then pour the beer out so it filters through the little ball thing in it. Mm-hmm. And then once it's all out, you just let it sit. And that's how it's supposed to be done, but everyone's out here drinking it like it's normal beer, including myself, and that's why I haven't had Guinness in over a year at this point.
So wait, you said you take the pint glass and you take the can and you just dump the can over into the pint glass straight down, or...
Yeah, then you lift it, so you keep it just like half an inch above the actual beer.
Mm-hmm. Now, are these instructions on the can? Because I feel like these instructions should be on the can.
I don't know. They probably are, and none of us... It's like terms and conditions.
No one ever reads them.
Like, it could say in the terms and conditions for, I don't know, like, Mass Effect.
You owe us your left testicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can claim your third-born child on the seventh the seventh cycle of the moon. Something like that. None of us would know.
I think back to the South Park episode, the human centipede episode.
Oh, God.
I've not seen that.
So in the
South
episode,
Park.
it has to deal with Apple or an Apple-like property that, you know, for iTunes, you basically just hit accept for the terms and conditions. Well, one of the terms and conditions is they're allowed to use you for experiments. And in this case, it's a human centipede-like thing that powers basically an iPad. So one of the boys, of course, gets chosen for this experiment, and it's not a pleasant episode to watch at all, because much like the human centipede, they're literally ass to mouth down a chain of like 3 or 4 people, and something about that powers the iPad somehow, and then Apple starts to market it. And the whole thing is, I didn't sign up for this. Well, it was in the terms and conditions. Did you read them? No, nobody reads the terms and conditions. Well, you should have read the terms and conditions. And they just yank them. I'm like, oh, what if...
There's a handful of terms and conditions stuff that I learned recently about, like, various things, and it's astounding what they slide in.
Isn't there somewhere is it in the Xbox terms and conditions? I feel like I read once that it says that you sign off and that you're not allowed to use parts of it to build a nuclear weapon.
What?
Which I feel like at that point, if you're going to make a nuclear weapon, I don't think you care about the terms and conditions.
Fair.
True. But if you're going to make a nuclear weapon out of parts from that, I mean, yeah, you don't care about the terms and conditions, but they can also sue you extra if you use those parts once you get caught.
I feel at that point we need to ask ourselves the questions: how did they make a machine that can be used as a nuclear device?
With Xbox parts.
Right.
Jesus.
Like, is there uranium in my Xbox and I just didn't know?
Oh, shit.
Wait, that's the glowing green part.
I'm sitting here going, my Xbox is within arm's reach right now.
And the red ring of death was it failing?
Oh,
was when it was failing. Yeah.
It depleted at that point.
Yeah.
Or containment breach. It could have been the containment breach. We're on to you, Microsoft. We're on to you.
Or the 360, it was supposed to, like, I don't know, be like a bomb or something. And the red ring of death was it failing to do its job.
Oh, a lot of people have been saved.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories.
Welcome to tinfoil hats.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Tinfoil Hat Podcast.
See, these are the kinds of conspiracies I enjoy. The ones that make literal no sense, but they're fun.
God,
they are so
best.
fun.
They're the two very best fucking conspiracies that I know. Is that Australia doesn't exist.
I mean, technically.
It's
what?
It's all...
Wait, hold up. I'm sorry, Simon. I love you, but what?
Then how come so many of them show up to my streams?
Blue, what do
paid
you mean
actors.
technically it doesn't exist?
So technically, it was never actually founded as a country. It was initially a prison state. Therefore, it was just where Britain just shoved all their rejects.
Well, I knew that, but like
Yeah.
they never actually became an official country because they're recognized as an official country.
Yeah. From what I understood for the research that I did on it, they were just kind of recognized but never actually applied.
Yeah, but this is more like the actual continent.
Gotcha.
Like, if you get on a plane to Australia, it's you get on the plane, they fill it with knockout gas, and then they fly you to like Memphis or some shit, and everyone they just have this apparently massive area.
No, that's where the
With
Bermuda
paid
Triangle
actors.
comes from.
The Bermuda Triangle.
It comes from
Yeah.
Memphis.
I know about the science behind that and why that's technically a thing.
It's just, I fucking love it. The second best one is the birds aren't real.
Birds aren't real.
No, birds don't exist. They're all cameras that the government used to track us. And that's why they invented Corona, so they could replace the batteries in them.
It's taken them a long ass time to replace these batteries. Come on, get it done. We want to go outside
See how many
again.
birds there are?
No, all of them are cameras, dude. They're all machines.
Then why is there so much bird shit on my car?
Oh, yeah.
That's just excrement from the batteries. It's actually battery acid. That's been neutralized with baking soda. That's why it's white.
I fucking love it, because people that believe in this are so committed to the cause. It's amazing.
Oh my god.
If you have a bird, you don't have a bird.
You just have a camera.
You purchased surveillance of yourself.
That's my dad. My dad and his girlfriend, they have a bird. My mom and her boyfriend, he has two birds. They have two
shit.
birds. Yeah.
Man.
They're just collecting the cameras just for the government to track them even further, even though we all have them in our pockets.
Right? Right? It's not like they can really access our GPS at any point in time. No.
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 No. So, speaking of things that are a bit irrational, do we want to roll into that?
Irrational fears? You know me and my
Sure.
baby doll fear.
Yeah.
My baby doll fear. Holy shit.
For those of you who don't watch Cordy on Twitch, it's almost impossible to get her actually scared unless you throw something baby doll related at her.
But with video games, it's not as pronounced, though.
Right.
Because I know that they are safely locked behind a screen and cannot actually reach out and touch me.
So what I'm hearing is I need to buy you an Annabelle doll for Christmas.
Fuck
Oh,
off.
yes. Do it.
You know that shit's going straight in the fucking trash.
I'll give it to Jesse and have him lock it up in a glass case or something.
No,
that's when you take your stream setup outside, you start a bonfire, and you just throw it right into the bonfire.
Like the time I burned my McDonald's clothes? Yeah.
Like the time I burned my entire Panera uniform.
Yep. Same thing.
Ooh,
except
that's
for
what I should get for lunch.
Except I worked at
Panera?
McDonald's for 9 years. I had reason to yeet my shit into the fire.
I was only at my Panera job for a year, and the last 4 months of it, they made me do 5 people's worth of work.
Oh, I know. It was shit. But no, my baby doll thing started probably around age 5. I know it was
Gotcha.
before I was 10 because my nana passed when I was 10. And this happened at her house. My aunt was over there babysitting me while my nana was supposed to be babysitting me, but nana had to go do something, so aunt was there. And my aunt thought it would be a great idea to watch Child's Play. Yeah. Let's just say seeing Chucky murder multiple people does a number on your mental health as a child and then makes you throw away all of your baby dolls by the next day when you get home.
That was the same. That was the same with me with It for a little bit with clowns, because
Yeah.
I saw the original It when I was like 4 or 5.
Oh shit.
And girl, like there was a time in my childhood where I didn't bathe for the longest time.
Oh,
For probably
no.
a month, because I was very, very, very like I kind of have an active imagination still, but then it was like even more so. So like I would literally freak myself out thinking that this is actually going to happen, and like just snowball into all this other bullshit. And I was like, no, I'm not getting into the bath ever again.
Oh
Like,
no.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. And Child's Play was not the last time that I got scared by a horror movie, really. I saw The Ring in theater.
Oh no.
I mean, I was a teenager at this point, so theoretically, like, I should have been fine.
Right.
Should have been
But
fine.
The keyword.
Now, like, this wasn't a lingering thing. This was just a one night. The night after I saw it, I had a TV in my room as a child, as a teenager, and I laid down that night and turned off my TV, and then I couldn't fall asleep because I'm like, oh shit, Samara's gonna come through the fucking TV. Mind you, this TV's only like a freaking maybe a 12-inch TV. So like
she would have been tiny.
She
You
would
could
have
have kicked
been
her out the room.
Exactly.
I
But
was like that
no.
with The Grudge. I was like that with The Grudge. Like I don't remember what year that came out. I had to have been like 13 or 14, maybe. I think that sounds about right. And the first movie, I was like, at the time, again, I had a very active imagination then too. And spoiler alert for those who haven't seen a movie that's like almost 10, 20 years old or whatever.
15.
But like, yeah. So she like is in an attic that's in a locker, right? And that's where she comes down from at one point in the movie.
Oh, the attic entrance, yeah.
The attic entrance in the closet. My room didn't have an attic entrance, but
Had a closet.
still, I would still like freak out because my bed was right across the room from the closet door.
Ooh.
So I was like,
Yeah.
she can't get me if I'm under the covers. But then I would remember that no, she could. She would just
Yeah.
appear under the covers.
Yeah.
And then
So,
and then I think I've told this story. I think I've told this story before, but there was that time I went to go see Grudge 2 in theaters, and I was hiding in my hoodie.
Yep, you did.
yeah, I remember this.
Yeah. And then the hands come out from underneath the hood of the hoodie, and I screamed in the middle of the movie theater and threw that shit off of me.
Yep.
So, for the record, the movie came out in 2004, and apparently they
Okay.
did a remake of the original last year.
Oh yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, I heard the
It's
remake
horrible.
was terrible.
yeah, it's not good. No.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
waste
there's a
your
whole
time.
Netflix series as well based around that.
The
Right.
series isn't bad. I've
Oh.
only seen like 2 episodes, but it's not bad.
It's not
I
bad,
heard it
but
was
you didn't
pretty
finish
good.
watching it.
Well, I started watching Schitt's Creek as a thing.
Ah.
And then I
Ah.
got super obsessed with Schitt's Creek, so I finished it in like 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How many episodes is that, or how many seasons?
There's 6 seasons, 13 on the first 5, and then 14 on the last one.
Holy
What?
crap.
What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit in a bucket.
I mean, I've binged pretty hard myself like that before, but that's a lot still.
Yeah. Well, I was a contact tracer before, and we hit the point in our
Gotcha.
job that like we weren't getting any phone calls. So I could literally sit at work and watch Schitt's Creek all day and maybe get 1 or 2 phone calls that like in a day.
So are
No.
these half-hour episodes or hour episodes?
They're half hour.
Okay. So it's a
Yeah.
little
Oh, that's not as
more
bad then.
okay. But
Yeah.
still,
Like, I
that's a
could-
lot.
Yeah. And I think the only reason why it took me 2 weeks is that I took some days off. Like, I probably finished a whole season a day.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, if I'm watching 2 episodes an hour, you know what I mean? Well, no, not 2. Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of. Because it's not really a 30-minute episode.
Well, yeah,
it's
they're
like
20 some.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 to 3 episodes an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I can't remember what's the last thing I binged like that?
I can tell you exactly what the last thing I binged was.
I remember-
It was The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. The 4th season just dropped on Netflix, so
I still need to watch it.
it's really good, but I hated the way it ended.
I
Well, didn't they have
stopped
to wrap
midway.
it up because they canceled it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that they ended it.
I stopped
I heard-
midway through season 2 because I didn't like season 2 at all.
Season 2 is crap. Season 3 picks up a lot better. Season 4 is pretty good up until probably episode 5, and it ends on episode 8.
Yeah.
So,
it pulls a Game of Thrones.
pretty much.
I still haven't seen even a full season of Game of Thrones.
I watched through the first season, but then I started reading the books. The books are so much better.
Yep.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Game of Thrones. I loved the show, and I haven't read the books yet, and I intend to. But that last season,
God.
that last season.
Even in the first season, they took a whole lot of creative liberty, as what they're calling it, and they're after
They
the
ruined
4th
it.
episode. After the 4th episode of the first season, it just goes completely off the wall from the books in ordering and everything.
Yeah.
It is
And
so messed up.
And they ruined a lot of the character arcs too, in my opinion.
And there's a handful of things that happen in the TV show that never happen in the book.
Yeah.
For example, well, I'm
Well,
not
we
going
don't
to
want
say
to
just
spoil.
in case people
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not to mention the last 2 seasons of the show are beyond where the books are. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they got George's blessing on those, but whether or
for
not
the
that's how
Did they for the final season? I know they did with 7.
I want to say yes, because I mean it's his baby. Now whether or not he actually keeps what they did in the show in the books is a different
Yeah.
story. But
Well, considering how many people hated it, I'm assuming he's probably not going to.
I'm convinced he already finished the book 10 years ago, and it's just sitting in a vault
yeah.
until he dies. You want to talk about conspiracy theories? That's mine.
Yeah, I can see that.
I already, the only thing that I know for sure is that there is one character that will not die because his wife threatened to divorce him if he kills off that character. So he's not going to kill off that character. Yeah.
I hadn't
So
heard
we
that.
know he's getting a divorce if he does.
Yeah. I'll tell you who it is after the podcast, but yeah.
Right.
I don't want
Well,
to spoil it for anybody.
That kind of reinforces my conspiracy theory about him not releasing it till he dies, because she can't divorce him if he's dead.
That's true.
Uh,
Yeah.
I haven't seen more than a couple of episodes, but I already know that Ned isn't long for this world because he's played by Sean Bean.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong on the Sean Bean thing.
Yeah.
Most of his characters die.
really early.
Yeah.
Except Silent Hill. He doesn't die
Yeah.
in Silent Hill.
He isn't in Silent Hill all that much either.
True,
haven't
but he
seen it.
doesn't die.
It's true.
I feel like he does so many roles for different things that he just only has time for 2 or 3 episodes and then just gone.
But usually I'm not the kind of person that's because with Game of Thrones, I was told by several people that it was you have to give it a couple episodes. It's a little bit of a slow build. Once you hit episode 5 or 6, you'll really get into it or whatever.
Mhm.
And usually I'm if a show doesn't pull me in within the first episode, I'm not gonna watch it.
I normally give it the first 3.
Yeah.
depending on how long the episodes are. If the episodes are an hour long, then the first like 2. If
Yeah.
it's only like half an hour to 45 minutes, then I'll give it 3.
Because everybody that I know is like, you need to watch Parks and Rec. Like, it's right up your alley. You will love it.
Can't do it.
But then they're like,
alley.
don't watch season 1 though. Skip season 1 and go straight to season. Why even
Right?
go into a show like that then?
Right?
Yeah.
It's honestly how I feel with one of the anime that I watched, Sword Art Online. Basically, after the first 13 episodes, you don't need to watch any more of it.
Ouch. That's a big ouch.
Oh, I enjoyed the whole series of that. I know a lot of people didn't, but I did enjoy the whole thing.
That's what I heard about season 7 of Buffy, too.
Gotcha.
Was that a lot of people were like, you don't have to watch the last season.
I mean, I can see why they say that, but you know.
Yeah.
I remember.
Sorry, it was Charmed.
Oh, okay.
They were saying don't watch the last season of Charmed because season 7 really kind of wraps up everything, and they could have ended it there, I guess they were going to end it there, and then it got another, like they were like, no, we're gonna do another season, and I think everybody at that point were done.
7, it was rough.
Season 7 was
didn't
rough,
watch
and
it.
Yeah, the show kind of got rough after season 5, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
Well, I never watched Charmed. It was not on my to watch list.
Gotcha.
I love it.
Yeah. Did you watch the reboot?
I have watched the reboot. I've seen most of season 2. I need to keep watching it, but yeah.
I'm assuming you're enjoying that then, since you're still watching.
I do enjoy it, and I think a lot of Charmed fans would be mad at me for saying that, but like I think that it has the same concepts and stuff, and like it's 3 sisters and they all have like their respective powers and stuff like that, but like it's different enough that I can enjoy it. You know what I mean? The thing I didn't agree with when they were promoting the reboot was that they were like, this is all about female empowerment and like kind of implying that the original wasn't that.
Right.
And I was like, no, the original was very much that.
I almost feel like that phrase at this point, like, nothing against female empowerment, but it's almost a little too pushed. Like, they push it in the wrong way, so to speak.
I feel like it is said a lot in order to get views and likes on social media.
Yeah.
But I watched the original series of Charmed very recently.
Yeah.
Just to kind of go back and re-experience it, and I don't see really anywhere in there where there isn't any sort of they're strong women,
right?
In the original series, so like to paint it that the original wasn't that is kind of a slap in the face. But
yeah,
I am enjoying the new one.
Okay,
well, that's cool.
I'm glad.
Didn't even know the new one existed until I heard about it. Recently.
I'm glad that it's not trying to be exactly like the original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because then I would look at it with a much harsher eye.
Gotcha.
I could see that. I could see that. I remembered what I binged most recently, and that was actually Kipo and the Wonder Beasts, which is an animated Netflix show. And it is really good. Like, it's one of those, it's made for kids, but adults enjoy it because, much like Disney movies, there's always that little spice added in for the adults every so often.
Fair.
For the humor. But it details a future where most humans are living underground because something happened where, we're now in the age of the Wonder Beasts. And the Wonder Beasts are essentially animals that can now walk and talk, or if they can't, they're huge, or, there's been mutations that have happened. And the humans are living underground because the surface is so wild, it's hard to survive out there. And through circumstance, she ends up having to survive on the surface for a while and make friends and stuff. And I don't want to get too far into it, but it's just really fucking good. And I highly recommend, if anyone wants to check that out, like, do it. If you've been questioning whether or not you should do it, just do it.
I'm
Like-
gonna need you to link me the name or whatever.
Yeah,
after
I'll do
stream.
that after. I got
Yee.
you. I got
Yee.
you.
Yeah.
Yes. But other than that, I don't think I mean, technically, I guess I binged Supernatural, but it took me like 8 months to get through the entire series.
I mean, that series is long as heck, though, too.
It's
like,
15,
isn't it, what, 15 it's
ended
15
at
seasons?
15 seasons. And it's very unfortunate that the last 2 episodes were actually filmed after COVID started.
Right.
So it's one of those, the last 2 episodes of the entire series had to be altered in order to conform with COVID appropriate filming situations
Right.
and such. So it's one of those, anyone going back to watch it, if they weren't imparted with this knowledge, they'd be looking at it like, this is a little weird, just the way things look and feel a little different. But those of us who
Right.
know that the last 2 episodes were filmed during COVID times, you know, obviously they're going, okay, I know why they did it that way. I wish they didn't have to, but that's just the way it is. But I don't want to spoil anything, because clearly it's a 15 season thing. If you're going to start out on your Supernatural journey, there's a part where it could have ended earlier and it was supposed to. It didn't. It gets weak there for 2 seasons and then it comes back. So just bear with it if you're in it for the long haul.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know, right? So, Simon,
Yeah.
where can we find you if we're looking for you outside of the podcast?
On Twitter at Warriors Lacy and on Twitch as Lazy Warriors. I'm going by the same name on Instagram and TikTok, which I haven't really been using lately, but there you go.
They're things. They're things you do use on occasion. Yes. And Josh, how about you?
You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok, and YouTube as JosherXD. And you can also find me on Twitter as the JosherXD.
Yippers.
Yeah.
And Blue, again, thank you so much for joining us today and everything. Where
Anytime.
can people find you if they want to reach out to you offline or
You can
online?
find me on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I think that's all of them, all under the Blue Fat Ninja.
Nice. And as for me, I am at Cordelia Chase, Cordilia Chase, on TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch. I have a
Nice.
YouTube, but all I do is upload my highlight videos.
Right.
So, and that link you can find in my Twitch channel. So, yeah, somewhere is probably the most appropriate way to put it. I put out 1 video a month. Enjoy. Have fun. Go at it. It's fine. If you're looking to reach out to the Streamless Podcast, we are on Twitter at StreamlessP. That's the letter P, not urination. If you want to send us an email with any comments, critiques, ideas for topics, suggestions, so on and so forth, we are streamlesspod@gmail.com. And of course, if your podcast app has the ability for comments, please feel free, again, for feedback. Give us feedback. We need the attention.
Okay, stop.
No.
Voice.
I will not
We
stop.
will die.
We need the attention. Give us all the attention.
Oh dear. The
Wait,
demon's
that's
here.
how we go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So
Alrighty.
until next time, bye.
That was like a sharp note. You hear that? We did like a minor key. A minor key. Did you hear that? I don't know what note that is, but it was.